सो गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स। आज हम बात करेंगे सेल। क्लास 8th का टॉपिक है, 9th के लिए मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट है बिकॉज 8th में सिर्फ बेसिक सेल के बारे में डिस्कशन है, उसके बाद 9th में इसका पूरा डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया हुआ है। ओके, सो वी विल डिस्कस फ्रॉम बेसिक टू एडवांस। सो स्टार्ट विद द डेफिनेशन ऑफ सेल. So definition of cell is a structural and functional unit of life. It means this is the basic unit, or we can say fundamental unit of a living being. It means all the cell organisms are composed of cell. Like our house is built up of bricks, in the same manner cell is a building block for the body. Okay, so on the basis of number of cells present in an organism, we can divide organism into two types. First one is unicellular organism. It means the organism which is composed of only one cell, means it contains only one cell. And multicellular organism are the organism which are having more than one cell in their body, or we can say the body is composed of more than one cell. Okay, so that is about cell and unicellular and multicellular organisms. Now we will discuss the name of the scientist which play a big role in the discovery of cell. Okay, so first of all, Robert Hooke, who discovered the dead cell. Okay, Robert Hooke discovered the dead cell in cork. Okay, in bark of tree, he discovered the dead cell, and the structure of dead cell is hexagonal. Now the next scientist is Antony von Leeuwenhoek, who discovered the living cell, and he discovered in pond. Discovery of bacteria, it is also goes to Antony von Leeuwenhoek. Now next scientist is Robert Brown. Okay, Robert Brown discovered the nucleus. Then two scientists, Schleiden and Schwann, who plays a very important role in cell theory. Okay, so Schleiden and Schwann were two scientists who given the cell theory. What was the cell theory? Okay, so cell theory, all living organisms are composed of living cells. All living organisms are composed of cells, and cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Third one, all cell arises from pre-existing cell. Now one more scientist, that is Rudolf Virchow, which expanded the cell theory. It means it given some explanation to the third point, that how new cell arises from pre-existing cell. So he given the explanation that new cell arises by the help of cell division. Now move to the next thing, that cell, its size and its shape. So largest cell in human body is ovum, largest cell. But in the case of longest cell, it is nerve cell, we can say neuron cells. Okay, and smallest cell, it is RBC. Sometime, or some scientists, or we can say some books, consider sperm as a smallest cell. Now the type of eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. What are the types of cell? Two types, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Then prokaryotics are, we can say, primitive cell. Okay, primitive cells. The simple and basic difference is, in prokaryotic cell, membrane, nuclear membrane is absent. Okay, but in eukaryotic cell, well developed nucleus is present. It means in eukaryotic cell, nuclear membrane is also present. So second difference, prokaryotic cell do not have membrane bound cell organelle. This we will discuss in earlier slides. Okay, but in eukaryotic cell, all the membrane bound and membraneless organelles are present. Okay, so here is the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Now this is the structure of an animal cell. Okay, you can take a screenshot of this. What are the cell organelles present in the animal cell, we can discuss over here. Now move to the next diagram, that is plant cell. Okay, so just take a screenshot in your brain, because what are the differences between them we will discuss when we will discuss the cell organelle. Okay, so move to the next slide here. So we will start from surrounding. From outer we will enter inside the cell. So first one is cell wall. It is the outer covering. Cell wall is a dead wall. It is absent in animal cell but present in plant cell, and it is made up of cellulose. Okay, and cellulose is a polymer which is made up of glucose? Okay, this is very important question. Still, that cellulose is made up of glucose. So what are the function of cell wall? It prevents the damages to the cell from outer environment or other damages, physical damages also. So cell wall, it is present only in plant and made up of cellulose, whereas cell membrane, it is present in both plant as well as animal cell, and it is made up of phospholipid proteins and carbohydrates. Now one thing I want to share, that cell membrane, which we already discussed, that cell membrane, it is also called as plasma membrane because it holds the cytoplasm. Okay, if plasma membrane is absent, then the complete loss of cytoplasm will take place. So cell membrane or plasma membrane is the membrane which holds the plasma. Now what is the cytoplasm or plasma? It is a semi solid, or we can say semi liquid substance, jelly like substance, in which all the cell organelle remain suspended. Okay, so in plasma, or we can say cytoplasm, all these cell organelles are present, and cell membrane is made up of phospholipid proteins and carbohydrate. Next we will discuss about cell organelle. First one is membrane bound cell organelle and non membrane bound cell organelle. Students, this is very important topic and you should take a screenshot of this, because in every exam the question from this topic is very important. So first one is membrane bound cell organelle. We will divide into two categories, single membrane and double membrane. In single membrane, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, lysosome, vacuole, cilia, flagella, microbodies, these are the examples. And double membrane organelles like mitochondria, plastid, nucleus, okay, and membraneless, which do not have a membrane, ribosome and centriole. So these are the types of cell organelle present in a cell. First one, very most important, that is mitochondria. It is a double membrane bound cell organelle, and this is also known as powerhouse of the cell. Why it is the powerhouse of the cell? Because in mitochondria, cellular respiration, we can say aerobic respiration, take place, by which glucose is converted into the ATP. What is the full form of ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. Okay students, so this is the diagram of mitochondria. Okay, and one more thing, mitochondria also have its own DNA. It means it can replicate. Now most important cell organelles are plastid. What are plastids? They are certain cell organelle which give specific pigment or specific colors to the cell organelle or to the cell parts. Okay, and we also know that chlorophyll is also a plastid. It is the type of chloroplast. Okay, you can say chloroplast, it is chlorophyll which contains green color and it gives green color to the plant. Okay, it is also known as semi autonomous cell organelle. Why? Because it is helpful in photosynthesis. Here are three types of plastid: chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Main thing is which you have to learn is chloroplast contains chlorophyll which give green color to the plant, and these are helpful in photosynthesis. If you want to learn about photosynthesis, you can go to my videos. Photosynthesis is also added earlier. Now chromoplast, it gives all the color except green color to the plants, like roses are red due to the chromoplast. Now leucoplast, you will search about leucoplast, because leucoplast, it is the plastid which do not suppose any color. It is transparent, or we can say white. And which part of the plant is white? That is root, definitely. Okay, some of the aquatic plants are also white. They also contain the presence of leucoplast. Now move to the endoplasmic reticulum, again a very important topic. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum is smooth because it do not have ribosome, whereas rough endoplasmic reticulum, they contain ribosome. That's why we call them rough endoplasmic reticulum, due to the presence of ribosome. Now the main thing which you have to learn is what is the functions Smooth endoplasmic reticulum is helpful in synthesis of hormones and lipids, whereas rough endoplasmic reticulum, it contains ribosome, and the function of ribosome is protein synthesis. Okay, so the function of smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum, I think clear it now. In Golgi apparatus, the scientist name is Camillo Golgi, who discovered the Golgi apparatus. They contain flat disc shape. Okay, you can learn the structure also, but the main thing which you have to learn about Golgi apparatus is the function of Golgi apparatus is packaging of material synthesized by endoplasmic reticulum or by the different cell organelle. So Golgi apparatus helpful, or it perform a function of packaging of material. Then one more important, it is the site for formation of glycoprotein and glycolipids. Okay, now move to the next cell organelle, that is lysosome. Very very important, most important, lysosome. They are also known as suicidal bags, or we can say waste disposal system. Why it is called so? Because they contain strong hydrolytic enzymes. Hydrolytic enzyme means it can digest itself, lysosome, and then whenever they get rupture, first they will digest itself and then the complete cell. Okay, so that's why it is known as suicidal bags. First kills itself, then the complete cell. That's why lysosome are known as suicidal bags. Now vacuoles are what? They are empty sac like structures. Their membrane is known as tonoplast. What they contain? They contain water, a waste product. Okay, now the main difference between plant and animal cell is vacuole in plant cell it is very large. Okay, whereas in case of animal cell, vacuole is very small. So in plant cell, in plant cell so vacuoles, they are very large in size in plant cell. That's why the nucleus in plant cell shifted toward the periphery, and in animal cell it is very small in size. Okay, so vacuoles we have discussed. Now moving to the next topic, that is ribosome. It is discovered by the scientist, that is George Paladay, and this is also non membranous, we can say non membrane bound organelle. The function we have already discussed, that protein synthesis is the function of ribosome. Now move to the nucleus. Okay, so nucleus, it is a membranous organelle present in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, and it contains genetic material. What are the parts? Nuclear envelope, it is bimembranous, or we can say double membranous cell organelle. Okay, nuclear envelope is the outer membrane, nuclear lamina is the internal membrane, the nucleolus, chromosome, and nucleoplasm. Then function, it controls the genetic information and it controls all the function of the cell. That's why we call them, call the nucleus control unit of the cell. This is the diagram. Nuclear membrane is also porous for the exchange of material from cytoplasm and also in between the nucleoplasm. Okay, it contains chromosome. Nucleus contains chromosome, which is a genetic material. And one thing I want to tell you, that chromosome contains genes, which is the basic unit of genetics, and the father of genetics is Gregor Johann Mendel. Okay, so what are the function of these genes? Gene transfer the characteristics from one generation to another generation. That is the function of chromosome. So students, thank you for watching. Keep supporting me. Subscribe, like, and